What's up? It's BLUEkey-tay. Take a look at my computer. That's the side of it. Uh, it's called The Beast. That's my girl Mazoga. Anyway, tell you a little quick story. Okay, tell you a quick story. Let me turn this down. Okay, so imagine, use your imagination. Imagine I was a planeswalker in Magic the Gathering, which means I can disappear from Earth and this Milky Way galaxy and appear in a different universe. I can travel through the planes, dimensions. Okay, so I'm thinking about blue. You remember the Blue Pursuit and all that. And sometimes when I get a theme, I start making a deck and I start imagining I'm in a different place. So I use my imagination and imagine I was on a water world. No land, just water. So this is what happened. I landed in the water world and my presence was felt for the creatures under the water that I'm treading. I got my peoples with me, like Vraska and her crew. All of a sudden, this big tidal wave kind of thing comes, but it's not wide, it's like a column. It rises up right in front of me, and it pauses in the air. So just using my instincts, I reach out to the tidal wave and I bring it down up on me. What is it trying to do? What's it trying to take me? So it shoots me down under the water. I'm following the current. I go down to the center of the place, and then I just pause. I'm underwater. Take a breath. I can breathe. Alright, but it wasn't like I was breathing water. I was actually breathing air, but I was underwater. So I'm like, so I teleport my people, snap my finger, teleport my people down there with me, because they like, I don't want them to wonder where I'm at. And you know, we got abilities. So they're sitting with me, and I'm like, just breathe. We can breathe down here. Everything can breathe. So that's when I run into the inhabitants. I guess you could say it was a wizard kind of dude with a beard or whatever. He was floating in the water. Okay, what happened next? Okay. So we're sitting there talking introductions, who we are and all that. And I'm like, yo, it's pretty peaceful. We just sitting there, we like, just floating, relaxing, breathing underwater. And I'm like, yo, where are the creatures? Where are the fish and stuff? Turn around and boom, bump heads with a fish. It came out of nowhere. Big, huge fish. Look like the fish on this planet. I'm like, okay, so we got fish out here. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm building this deck. I'm like, okay, so it's going to be a lot of mana because it's a lot of water. It's going to be fish creatures. And I didn't put my humans and stuff in, but I wanted to do a deck with merfolk and humans and stuff that's all blue. But hold that thought. Okay. So then I turn back to the wizard dude and I'm like, do y'all have any land on this plane? He said something like land. We had this floating rocks, like floating stones in the air. I'm like, well, how you get up there? I mean, cause like, where are you gonna go if you want to have a tournament or something, a battle with another person from a different plane? Where would we go? They're like, we got these floating land masses. We can zoom up to one, just get up under it, and you'll zoom up to it. That sounds like Umbral or something. Umbra? Okay. So I'm like, okay, that's a deck. I got an idea. So the first deck I created, let's just take a look. Don't be looking at my messy room when I turn this light on. Ouch, caught a cramp. Okay, so I had already, well, I hadn't already, but I took all my cards and I separated the ones I'm gonna take to the shop. Oh, my room is junky, by the way. Okay, so right here we have, I wanted to come up with a game plan. Right here we have cards that are gonna give me drawing cards. That's all of these. Draw cards, blue. Right here we have nothing but cards that counter spells, because blue is about counter, and cards that tap his creatures. So if he got a 4/4 angel, and I bust, let's see, this card, tap an enchanted creature, his angels tap, and it does not untap on his untap step. Now I don't know if that's permanent or if it's for one, but some cards say it don't untap on his next untap step. But this should say, but most of these say they're permanently tapped. Pretty much, I'm guessing. That's just like pacifism. Everybody wanted a pacifism card when it was white magic back in the day. All those cards are permanently pacifying, and most of them, a lot of them, just for one chance turn. Okay. These cards are just the instants and sorceries and enchantments that just did random stuff that I wanted. You see how little this deck is? That I just kept around. I found a place for them. All these let me draw cards and give me things like you can pull a card out of your graveyard. You can take an instant or sorcery you already used that's in your graveyard, bring it back into play. They give me things. These counter his spells, tap his creatures, and that's a lot of counters and tapping. These are just special cards I wanted, and these are all the creatures. All the creatures that I want. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, a good 35 to 38 to 42% of all these are creatures too. But these are just all the creatures I want to keep. Sorry. Okay, so I want to make my first deck. It was this one. What was I thinking about? I was thinking about arriving to the plane. A lot of mana. 50-50 mana. Okay, what else did I do? I put fish in. I took all my humans and the merfolk out. I put fish, sea creatures that could live on a water planet with no land. Something like that. Surfing of the endless sea. Its power and toughness are equal to the number of islands you control. My mana. And it's 50-50 mana. It's 50 mana in here. And 50 regular cards. So it just turned out to be a creature deck. Just mana and creatures. I didn't put none of the draws. I didn't put none of the counters and stuff. Okay. So earlier I had an epiphany. What's my style? Because I can't seem to get a handle on what I like to do when I play Magic. And what makes me feel most satisfied? What would make me feel most satisfied? If I could do some combat kind of thing. Like, if I could, he's coming out with my boy that's training me comes out with 1,000,000 mana in like 4 turns. He has like 12 mana out. You can only put 1 mana land per turn. He beats me with unlimited mana combos when he finally activates his combo, and he goes infinite, which means he can keep hitting me and starting his turn over, untapping all this land and going until everybody on the table's dead. So I'm like, what would I want to do? I would want to reach into his mana pool. And I would want to affect him like he affects me, but use his thing to be more satisfying. It's like saying, like, if somebody is making a mud pie and you walk behind them and shove their face in their own pie. That's what I want to do. I don't want a bunch of creatures that come out and just be a whole. I want to diminish. So I thought about my planeswalking thing, and we're standing up on the floating island. What did I ask the dude? I said, where would we go to fight people, like if we wanted to have a tournament with people from other planes? So this is a martial arts deck. So first I'll show you this deck. That's what the point of it is. I can't just tell you it's a deck. Okay, you got a Kraken here. Kraken. It's a 6/6. It costs 7 energy to come out. Creatures with power less than the number of islands I control can't block it. We got a Kraken Hatchling, which is a little guy. It's only 1 minute to bring it out. It's a 0/4, it's a defender basically. But under that, I got Air Elemental. We was underwater and I breathed in air, so I threw Air Elementals in there. Flying 4/4. Oh, I do have an enchantment. Enchanted creature gets 2/2 and has flying. Oh, a bunch of these joints give us flying. Yeah, I do have some enchantments and stuff that give us all flying. And then this one on this thing was a fish. It's illusion though, I believe. It's just, if it's the target of a spell or ability, return it to my hand. If he has something to say, destroy all them creatures you got, this just comes to my hand because it's an illusion. That's dope. What's this? Breaching Hippocamp. A horse fish. 3/2. When it enters the battlefield, untap another creature I control. So, it's just water creatures here. Let me put this back in here. My commander is actually blue and red. I gotta buy a commander when I go in there. I gotta buy like 2. Because a commander is a card that leads your party. Like Pokemon Pikachu leads the party, you gotta have a leader. And everything in your party has to match the color of your commander. And I couldn't find one for that. Because this is my commander for the second jet. Creatures you control with power and toughness 1 or less can't be blocked. I showed you those are 6/6s. I don't have anything in there that has power and toughness of 1 or less, except for that 0/4. But this 0 is no attack; it can't attack. So why would it need to be blocked? But this goes perfect in my second deck. We're up on a floating mass and we're fighting. So I'm like, okay, what am I going to do? I want to be a good fighter. I want to have a good fight. What's this? So I went ahead and threw my peoples in there. I threw my humans, my merfolk folks that I'm trying to get to know. Now that's just the 1/3. A lot of these are. But what did my commander do? You can't block any of those ones. Power, toughness, or 1. You can't block any of these, and they're all like that. Okay. So I got a lot of mana in every deck because I have trouble. I can't do math very well. I don't catch on to it and it doesn't work for me a lot. I mean, the numbers never work on my favorite. Okay, 4 mana. Whenever this enters the battlefield, tap something. Yep, see? I'm tapping his creatures so that even though he can't block most of these with the commander out, even if he could, if my commander wasn't out, mostly all of these cards will tap 1 or 2 of his creatures that will be ready to kill me, my little ones. Enchanted creature doesn't untap, and you can only have 1 of each card. There's 100 cards, and none of them are duplicates. And I'll just show you. I'll pull a random out. It's the sorcery. Come on, man, focus. Return all 9 land creatures target player controls into their hand. So what this is going to do, say he has all his angels and shit out, and I put them all in his hand. He got his 10 mana or whatever, maybe he has 20. If he can't cast every one of them creatures that turn, let me think. I'll do that on my turn, because he'll already be tapped out from his turn. I return all his creatures to his hand, and he ain't gonna be able to do nothing, but at the end of the turn, he'll have to discard all of them into the graveyard. He'll have to start fresh. And when I was thinking of that, I was thinking I'd do that on his turn, and then he have his 50 mana to bring half of them back out. Enchantment creature. Creatures I control get to fly. All my creatures are flyers now. So he can't reach them, they going over his head. And creatures he control lose flying and can't. Now I told you he plays with angels. All of a sudden he's on the ground, I'm in the air. He can't change it. So that's the second deck. Do not look at my junkie room. I've been in a trance for the last couple days. You see I haven't posted. I ain't been in a trance. I've been doing my thing. I've been thinking, You can call it meditating. So this is the commander for that deck. Okay, so what about all these cards here that's gonna counter his spells? And these cards that are gonna give me a bunch of draws? That's the one I just did. I just created a deck for that. This final one. Now, what was I thinking? When the way I showed up, those people honored me, and they gave me some high status in their place. They're like, yo, he came from a different place. He's a nice guy. Whatever. He's revered. So I'm all cocky. I'm feeling myself now. If he trying to figure out what's going on, well, I got a bunch of sphinxes for him. And the lore behind the sphinxes is they give you riddles. And if you can't solve the riddle, then you die. So if he don't know what's happening here, he's just gonna die. So what did I put in here? I put a lot of draw cards in here. I got a lot of mana. It's a lot of water. I got a lot of draw cards. And it works kind of good. Let's see. What creatures did I put in here? Well, this is just an impressive one. It didn't fit the rest of them. It's called a Leviathan. And I just brought it out testing his hand. Because I kept drawing. Every one of the cards is not a creature. Even the ones that are creatures, I just grab one. Enchantment. Whenever you cast... Come on, focus card. Focus camera. Come on. Whenever you cast an instant... Look at this, yo. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, you may copy that spell and choose new targets for the copy. Okay, yeah, that's nothing. I got sphinxes. I told you I had sphinxes. Flying whenever it becomes untapped. Once I attack with the next turn, when I put it back out, untap it, reveal the top card of my library. If it's an artifact, creature, or land, I can put it on the battlefield. Okay. Untap all the creatures I control. That means I can fight them and then untap them, and then I can block with everything. I'm invulnerable still. Pay 3 mana. The controller of the target instant or sorcery spell copies that spell. So that's me. If I put let's see, untap all 9 land permanents I control, and say I had a second attack phase, I attack with them again, and then I pay 3 mana. I can do that again. I can do that for myself. More sphinxes. Here, now it's starting to fall into place, but my camera is acting crazy. Oh, let me zoom all the way out. My bad. I figured it out. Zoom all the way out. Draw 2 cards. Create a colorless card that taps for mana, and I have to sacrifice it or whatever. But a one-time mana. Okay, that's not bad. We got another sphinx. This sphinx is a 1/1. Oh, good. Oh, it's not a sphinx, it's a siren. I just wanted the siren. I tapped this, right? It was in my testing hand. Target creature an opponent controls attacks you if able. Now, if this comes out in the beginning of the game and he has all his creatures tapped for energy, for mana. So say I get a 2/2 out there and he got a bunch of 1/1s. Every turn, I'm going to tap this and make his 1/1 attack me. And I'm going to kill all his little mana joints. Pay 2, sacrifice this, draw 2 cards. Let's see. Enchant a creature. Enchant a creature has, tap it, scry 1, and then draw a card. That means I got my deck here. I scry 1. I look at the top card. Do I want this? If I don't, I put it on the bottom of the deck. So that's scry. But then the second part of that said, then draw that card. So basically, I can decide if I want the card and then put the card in my deck. Just grab another random. Look at the top 3 cards in my library and put those cards on the bottom in any order. If you do that, return this card here to your hand. Otherwise, if I don't want to put them at the bottom, I draw 3 cards. Okay, another random. Target player draws 2 cards. So you probably, well, I'm thinking, I ain't gonna say you. What's the point in all these drawing? All you're getting is pulling out of cards that say draw. Put a token on the battlefield that's a copy of target creature you control. If it's your turn, scry 2. Look at the top 2. If I want them, put them back. If I don't, put them on the bottom. Because what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna keep drawing, and I'm gonna have a handful of sphinxes and mana. That means throughout this game, with a whole bunch of mana in here, every turn I'm putting out a mana. So if we go 10 turns, I got 10 mana, and guess what? I'm probably gonna have 2 sphinxes, which means they coming out about the same time, other than the cards that's already out, and I'm gonna be swinging for 10 flying in the air. Or I'm just gonna keep drawing and just having fun. I mean, I still some details. Let's see something. A creature I would pull out. A sphinx flying. Discard 2 non-land cards with the same name and draw 4 cards. Well, you can't have duplicates. But it's a 5/6. So with a fight under it, Sphinx of War Isle, flying in Shroud. That means, I don't know. You can look at the top card of my library in my deck at any time. It's a 5/5. It's an enchantment under that card. Sacrifice. Oh, we already did that, so I need to go deeper. This is my favorite deck because I just tried it out one time, and then like 4 turns, I had drew like what I was doing is I was drawing cards, and if I didn't have a mana, I would get a mana and then play that for turn, and then I was able to activate that and do something else. And sometimes I was just pulling more cards. I was taking like 2 or 3 turns, and I only went like 4 or 5 little draws and playing, and I was taking like 2 and 3 turns. That's something I never really did, because you see me, I'm studying these cards, and I don't have nobody here to test out my skills against. I just do it for lore and stories. I don't get practice with people. My homeboy gave me practice. This dude I met. And so tomorrow I'm going to try to make my way to the shop. And I'm going to try him with this one first. And then we're going to go to combat with this one. And then when he get tired, he's switching from his first to second deck. We'll do that. And then whenever I get a little time, I'm going to grab some draw me cards. I'm going to do my counter spells. This was tapping people. I wanted to tap his. All these counters that are in here, let's just see how long it takes to grab a counter. When this enters the battlefield, tap a creature, and it doesn't untap during its next untap step. That's why it's not in the deck. I don't want to spend mana to stop him for 1 turn. I want his shit stopped. Counter target spell unless he pays X. If that spell is countered, then exile it instead of putting it into his graveyard. X is however many I spend. So if I got it in the deck with 50 land and I spend 10 land and 1 blue, he got to spend 10 land to stop me from countering like whatever he doing. Okay, let's see how long it take to get another counter. When this enters the battlefield, tap all creatures target opponent controls. So if I got 3 or 4 sphinxes out, and then that card enters, it's a creature, I take all his blockers and tap him. He can't block. Then I just swing at him. Half his life is gone. And I got, nothing but sphinxes in one of those days. Sorcery. Gain control of target creature if his power is less or equal to the number of colors. Spent to cast this card. That's if I do a second color deck. So what I got over here is nothing but land and mana energy cards. What I got over here is an unopened pack of energy cards of every color, unless I want to switch up and do 2 color deck. And all of these are sleeves that I put the cards in, but I ain't sleeving it until I figure out if the deck is worth sleeving 100 cards and 100 sleeves. In these boxes, this is all my good little commanders, candidates, and it's just little weird stuff I got in each box, and plus they're just separated. So tomorrow I'm gonna go check homeboy out if he shows up or whoever shows up, and I'm gonna just tell him about my water world. My water world paradise. So this ain't the Pursuit of Blue, but maybe it do qualify as the Pursuit of Blue. It's been so long. The Blue Pursuit of Blue. BLUEkey-tay, BLUEkey-tay. I'm out. But hold on, before I'm out, Ugh. What's up, Milky? What's good with you, boy? Everybody ain't seen you since you was playing with the PlayStation controller. Alright. Don't think I'm weird. I can do what I want. And I ain't showed niggas I bought a second joint. Actually, this is my third one that I have bought. I got a Pikachu. But when it came, it has this on the top. And guess what? This was ripped in the back, yo. This is actually separated here. I had to find somebody to stitch it up. It came all the way from China. Alright. Oh, I'm sorry. That was the sound of my underwear splitting from me doing the splits. And I don't know. I'm just chilling. I want to do a live stream, but I don't know what I want to play. I want to play Red Dead, but it takes a lot of energy for me to play that. And I don't have that energy. I spent the day doing a little work in the field too. So, a little field work or whatever. So. Alright, y'all. BLUEkey-tay. I'm just chilling. Holler at your boy.